Welcome to our video series on mastering one-time offers. In this video, we'll explore the power of requiring your visitors to say no to your offer. Something I've seen used very effectively with one-time only offers is actually forcing the visitor to say no. Because rather than just a one-time only offer page that just appears and they can either order or press the back button or type in a different address, I would say that generally when people are presented with a one-time only offer, they tend to scroll down the page to have a quick read and maybe see what the options are, see where they can go. And what I've often seen done is, okay, this is a bit of an extreme example of a no thanks button. Sometimes the button simply says no thank you, but really it's often placed right at the bottom of the page, right next to the order links. So they actually have to choose or have to physically say no to the offer. And that seems to be one further step they have to take to decline the offer. And I feel that can work very well rather than not having a no thanks button basically. So this is just a quick example. And there's a pretend order button, which doesn't do anything, and a button right next to it. Click here only if you want to pass up this one-time only offer. Again, you could just have this button saying no thank you, I don't want the offer, something shorter. But obviously the text is completely up to you. But if I click that, you can send them to wherever you want. Here it just goes to a page called Missed Out, and it says you've missed out. But in the example I talked through in the first video, when you click the No Thanks button, it just takes you to your free membership. So you can take the visitor wherever you like once they click that button, and that's very easy to do. Okay, here's the page, and using FrontPage or Dreamweaver or whatever editor you want to use, it's quite easy to insert, form, and then you can add a button. But it's worth understanding the code so you can put this together with whatever sort of editor you use. So if we go to Code View, okay, ignore this line, which is for the pretend order button. What we want is this. We have the form tag, and a form in HTML is really a form, you could say, is really an input area that allows a visitor to send information to the server. For example, an email subscription box where you enter your email address to subscribe to a newsletter. That's part of a form because it's interacting with the web server. You're sending your email to the web server so you can be subscribed to an update list. So that's part of a form. A form is an area that allows you to send information to the server. Okay, so we have the form tag, and then name equals. So name equals, and then within double quotes, you can call your form whatever you like. Give it a unique name, because if you have more than one form on the page, you want each form to have a unique name. But you can call it whatever you like. It doesn't really matter. Then this is important. Method equals post, again within double quotes. And then there's a space between each of these, and then action equals, and then within double quotes, missedout.html. This is the web address you send them to if they click on it. In this case, again, missedout.html, and then closing brackets. And then at the end, there's a / form tag. So it's a form closing tag to mark the end of the form. That's very important. And between the form opening tag and the form closing tag, there's the button code. So input, type equals submit, basically telling the browser it's a submit button, a button that submits data. It doesn't really submit anything in this example, but this type is needed for this functionality. So type equals submit. And then value equals, And this is whatever you want the button text to be. So you can customize the text to say whatever you want to say there. Or in Design View in Dreamweaver, you can just click on the button, and then in Properties here, the label, as it's called, is the button text. Then, as you can see, Action, Submit Form, and that's pretty much it. So that's all it takes. And actually, as a side note, this is just the tip of the iceberg of this subject, but using CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets, which is really works alongside HTML. If you consider HTML the layout of the page, CSS is really advanced formatting for the page. And you can use CSS code to customize your button if you wish. So let's say here, style equals double quotes, and Dreamweaver helpfully prompts you at each step when you're in code view, background color, and let's go for a light yellow. Okay, we need to do the closing quote. So that's the code, and again, this is a bit of a side note, but I thought it would be worthwhile to touch on. You can do a Google search for how to customize buttons with CSS, and you'll find lots of examples. But here you see space, style equals, double quotes, background hyphen color, colon, and then the HTML color value. In this case, the hash or pound symbol with 4 Fs and 2 Cs, and then double quotes. So let's file save. Let's upload. Let's upload this special offer page. Okay, that's done. So if I go back to this special offer page and refresh, and there you go. You can see how the CSS code changed the look. And actually, just out of interest, I've gone back to Dreamweaver. You don't always need to use the HTML color values. I could, for example, say yellow, so background hyphen color colon yellow. Let's save and upload again. Upload the special offer page, and that's done. Back to the browser, refresh, and you see that it's gone to a darker yellow. Actually, that wasn't the clearest of examples, so let's quickly go back to Dreamweaver, and let's change yellow to red. This is slightly easier, but it gives you fewer color options, so really, if you want more choices with your colors, you want to deal with HTML color codes, and there are plenty of references to that available online. File save. Upload again. That's done. Back to the browser, and now you see that this should go to red, and it does. Quite a dark red, so it's slightly difficult to see the text, but really that was just a quick example. So again, if I click the button, I'm taken to the page I specified. And again, this page can be, obviously, you can do a number of things with this page. You can make it a second chance, one-time only page. You can use this script again and make it a second chance page, as I demonstrated in the first video. Okay, this is really your last chance. You won't see this offer again. Grab it now, or if you choose to skip past it, you'll be forwarded to the free members area, for example. So you can give people a second chance, or even a third chance. But I would think that at a certain point it starts losing its effectiveness, and you really want to consider making that second offer different from the first offer. Rather than just, are you really sure, here it is one last time, you could say, for example, are you really sure, I'm going to make it even easier for you. Here's a payment plan, and are you really sure that you don't want to take it up? So you can make the second offer slightly different, or if you want, just the same. It's up to you. but there are a number of options there. Or you can make this page just a "You've missed out, click here to go to the free members area," or whatever you wish. Or you can just forward them to the free members area if they choose no on the first offer. So there are a number of ways you can do this. And I feel that the physical action of having to do something, in this instance, click a button to really say, "No thanks, I'm really sure I don't want it," is again just one further hurdle, which makes them think about your offer just a little bit more, which in turn makes it a little bit more likely that they'll take your offer. So I feel that's good functionality to implement into your one-time offer pages.